Welcome to Heat Pump Nation and our video about the great business opportunity heat pumps offer to contractors. Hi, I'm Jonathan and I'm a contractor specializing in heat pumps. For this video, I've teamed up with my friends at Franklin Energy to talk about heat pumps and the great business opportunity they offer to contractors. This video was originally produced for the Comfortable Home Rebates program of Pacific Gas and Electric, with production support from Daikin, a leading manufacturer of heat pumps. If you don't know about Daikin and their many heat pump products, check out daikinac.com. When I say that heat pumps are a great business opportunity for contractors, this includes several trades. This is because the business opportunity around heat pump installation is really big and often includes work performed by electricians, plumbers, and weatherization contractors. For example, heat pumps are powered by electricity, so electricians are involved. There are heat pump water heaters, so plumbers can be involved in heat pump installations too. Finally, I have had success in selling heat pumps by working closely with weatherization contractors who install insulation and perform air sealing. So if you're a contractor and you're not involved in installing heat pumps today, I hope you will continue watching this video. When I talk about heat pumps, I'm talking about the new generation of heat pumps. These modern heat pumps represent the cutting edge in heating and cooling and water heating technology. And unlike earlier generations of heat pumps, modern versions are packed with technology, including sensors, computer controls, and variable speed motors. Simply put, modern heat pumps are in a class by themselves and capable of delivering more comfort while using less energy. And unlike earlier generations of heat pumps, homeowners love them. They are known for being reliable, easy to use, and for delivering superior comfort. If heat pumps are not a part of your business today, adding them to your offerings is a must-do. Here's why. First, there is a larger market trend unfolding that will drive huge growth in heat pump sales in the coming years. The second reason is that generating sales opportunities for modern heat pumps can be really easy today through several simple, low-cost marketing activities. Third, and finally, it is possible to generate profit more easily through installing heat pumps than other types of contracting work. Let's look at each of these 3 points in greater depth. So what's the larger trend driving the heat pump business opportunity? In the USA, at the time I'm making this video, there are 23 states working to lower their greenhouse gas emissions. The laws in each of these states are similar in that they establish goals for the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions by certain amounts and by specific dates. To meet the goals for reducing greenhouse gas emissions, states are planning for heat pumps to be installed in homes. Here's why. It turns out that the majority of the fossil fuels used in homes is for heating spaces and for water heating. And heat pumps are a viable technology today that do not directly emit greenhouse gases. What do these greenhouse gas reduction goals mean in real terms and for contractors? For an answer to this question, we can take a look at the state of Maine. In 2019, the governor of Maine signed a law which set a goal for 100,000 new heat pump installations by the year 2025. Researchers determined that by installing 100,000 heat pumps in buildings, it will allow Maine to meet its 2025 goal for greenhouse gas reductions. For contractors in Maine, they need to install 20,000 heat pumps per year for the next 5 years. And with a population of just over 1.3 million people, this goal equates to 0.015 heat pumps per person per year. This rate of 0.015 heat pumps per person is useful, and we will use this rate again in a minute. So how much business are we talking about? A friend of mine who is a heat pump contractor in Maine told me that his average heat pump sale is right around $6,800. If we multiply this average sale by 20,000 heat pump installations per year, this equates to a heat pump business value in Maine alone of $136 million per year for at least the next 5 years. What if we used similar numbers to calculate the volume of heat pump business in, say, California? With a population of just over 39 million people, if we use the rate of 0.015 heat pumps per person, this is equal to 586,500 heat pumps per year. At my company, which is located on the West Coast, our average heat pump sale is $7,500. So if we multiply 7,500 times 586,500 heat pump installations per year, we get a heat pump market value of $4.4 billion per year in California. This number is mind-boggling, especially when you consider that in 2020, the entire value of all residential HVAC business in the United States of America was just $10 billion. So you see what I mean? Heat pumps will be a huge business opportunity for the foreseeable future. And while my calculation methods are fairly simple, they are likely to be pretty close to accurate. So given the enormity of the heat pump business opportunity, I hope you will take this seriously. It isn't just greenhouse gas reduction goals driving sales of heat pumps. Some states are enacting new types of building codes aimed at reducing energy use through insulation, air sealing, ventilation, and you guessed it, heat pumps. These new energy codes favor modern, variable capacity heat pumps over other forms of heating and cooling, in large part because of their superior energy efficiency. And when you consider that a house insulated and air sealed to these new energy codes can have a heating and cooling requirement of less than 12 BTUs per square foot of floor space, a variable capacity heat pump system is a logical choice when considering comfort, efficiency, and cost. There is one other driver for heat pump sales, which is unique to certain areas of the country, in particular, Southern and Central California. It has to do with clean air laws and the regulation of flue gases coming from furnaces, boilers, and water heaters. In these areas, appliances which use natural gas and propane have restrictions placed upon them, which add significant costs and complexity to the equipment. Due to these additional components and fees, heat pumps are now a much more attractive and cost-competitive option for homeowners when compared to natural gas or propane-fueled heating appliances, and contractors are starting to offer heat pumps as a viable, lower-cost alternative. The second reason why I think heat pumps are a great business opportunity is that I have found it is relatively easy to generate lots of low-cost, high close rate leads for heat pumps. If you want to sell heat pumps, you need to be focused on lead generation because the market for modern variable capacity heat pumps is developing. This saying sums up the situation very well. Nothing happens in business until something gets sold. At my company, all we do is sell and install heat pumps. To give you some context, the business was founded in 2007 when utility rebate programs for modern, high-tech heat pumps became available. Seeing this new trend, my wife and I decided to start our heat pump-focused contracting business. So we quit our HVAC industry jobs and decided to go for it. When we explained to our colleagues what we intended to do, we heard lots of skepticism. One person even said, "Don't do it, you'll starve." Some of the concerns that our industry friends said were as follows. There isn't enough business out there for only heat pumps. The phone won't ring. There won't be enough sales leads. Another was, people don't want that thing on their wall. In this case, they were referring to ductless heat pumps, which we intended to make a focus of in our business. Heat pumps can't make enough heat. In this case, what they were saying is that heat pump equipment cannot satisfy heating design requirements, and that expensive electric resistance heaters will be needed. And finally, we heard heat pumps don't make homeowners comfortable. In this instance, they were referring to the early days of heat pumps, where discharge air temperatures were low and homeowners found they were uncomfortable using their heat pump for heating. I'm sharing all this with you because I still hear these concerns when I work with contractors today. And I want to impress upon you that not only did my wife and I not starve, but we've been able to build a wonderfully successful heat pump only business. At one point, we were as large as 50 employees with multiple business locations, and we were one of the largest residential replacement HVAC contractors in our region. We were successful because we learned how to generate leads specifically for heat pumps. I'll share what we do and why it works. Our top lead generation strategy involves getting out in public and showing people what modern variable capacity heat pumps are all about. We do this at least once a month for each of our locations. I have found that public events are a great way to make people aware of modern variable capacity heat pumps for the first time. Most markets in the U.S. don't use heat pumps regularly. Therefore, most people and their contractors don't know about modern variable capacity heat pumps and the many benefits they offer. Now, there are a few key strategies to make a display at a public event really work well, and we dedicate a whole video to the subject, so please check back in for specifics in a later video. Another productive way to generate leads is through digital marketing. Our strategy involves intercepting someone searching the web for home improvement ideas, and then we introduce them to modern variable capacity heat pumps as an available home improvement option. To make digital marketing for heat pumps really work, the website needs to be highly educational, and it needs to talk about heat pumps as a great home improvement option. The third strategy I use to generate leads for heat pumps involves developing relationships with utility staff who work on energy efficiency rebate programs. The goal here is to have these rebate program staff see you and your company as a trusted ally in heat pumps. This way, when a utility customer asks, which contractor should I call for a heat pump, they think of you. The reason this strategy works so well is this. When a utility offers a heat pump rebate, the utility staff are given heat pump goals to meet. So if you help the utility staff meet their heat pump goals and you are easy to work with, they will keep you top of mind. Just like before, I will go into the details of this strategy in a later video. This same relationship-based lead generation process can also work in areas where there are local government programs that advocate for heat pumps. And where there are nonprofit groups that advocate for heat pumps, this same lead generation process can also work. There is a reason why these three lead generation methods work to produce lots of low-cost, high close-rate leads. And I think it is useful to understand why, because if you understand what I'm about to share, it will help you more quickly become successful. At my company, we made a conscious decision to focus on the home improvement marketplace instead of the traditional HVAC marketplace. I believe this focus has been a key part of our success because the home improvement marketplace is driven by homeowners looking for new, better performing, and alternative technologies for their home. And when you consider how much larger the home improvement market is compared to the traditional residential HVAC market, there is more opportunity here too. And since the heat pumps we sell are new, modern, and better performing technology, we felt like the home improvement customers were a better fit when compared to typical customers shopping for heating and cooling. So let's analyze the HVAC market and compare how it works to the home improvement market. In the residential heating and cooling market, Most sales leads are generated when a furnace or air conditioner breaks. And most furnaces break during the coldest months of the year, and most ACs break during the hottest months of the year. In these cases, the homeowner is looking to replace broken appliances with the same technology. And since the appliances tend to break during the times of the year when they are needed most, homeowners' purchasing decisions are based on a very limited set of factors, like how fast can it be replaced, and they also tend to be focused on price. This homeowner's urgency to get their system replaced for the lowest price doesn't make them very open to considering new technologies. Because converting a home to a modern variable capacity heat pump system, or even a heat pump water heater, doesn't fit well within this urgent and price-sensitive residential buying scenario, you need to generate leads that get you in front of homeowners who have the time and the interest in making a change to new, better, and/or different technology for their heating, cooling, and even water heating. We will spend more time talking about how to target the home improvement market in a later video. As proof to this idea of marketing to home improvement customers, consider this. For the history of my company, roughly 95% of the homeowners we serve have a working HVAC system in their home at the time we meet them. They are not having us out because their current system is broken. Instead, they are having us out because they are looking for home improvement ideas. Okay, I've mentioned that my methods generate lots of low-cost, high close rate leads. And here's what I'm talking about. The leads I generate cost about $91 per lead. This is 1/3 the industry average. And they close at anywhere between 50 and 70%, depending on the experience of the salesperson, while the industry average close rate is around 35%. And thanks to this, my company spends less on marketing. Industry experts recommend that a company of my size should spend 10% of sales revenue on marketing. Thanks to the quality and quantity of leads, we spend half that without sacrifice. Which gets me to my last point about why heat pumps are a great business opportunity for contractors. I believe it is easier to operate a heat pump focused business when compared to the traditional HVAC business model. And thanks to the ease of operation, it can also deliver more profit margin. But first, let me share 2 basic requirements you will have to meet in order to make a heat pump contracting business easier and more profitable when compared to a traditional HVAC contracting business. In order to make heat pump installations easier and more profitable, you have to be an expert at heat pumps. This means you and your staff have to understand the technology, how it is best and properly applied, and how to install and service heat pumps so that they are reliable and produce great results. If you don't achieve this level of expertise, you can't expect to have an easier and more profitable business. In order to make heat pump installations easier and more profitable, you will also need to be speedy at installing them. If you don't get speedy and labor efficient at installing heat pumps, you can't expect to have improved profitability. One of the common mistakes I see contractors making in the installation of modern variable capacity heat pumps is that they assume that all their installers, who are great at furnaces, ACs, packaged units, and so on, can be instantly great at installing one of these modern heat pumps. These new heat pumps are different, and they use specialized installation practices, materials, and tools. Mastery takes dedication and effort, yet it can come quickly. For example, at our company, we are always working to find tools and materials and low-cost methods to do installation work in less time without sacrificing quality or reliability. And we regularly train new installers who come to us with only some general residential work experience. Yet in a few months of field training, they become speedy and labor efficient at heat pump installations. If you can become an expert at heat pumps and really speedy at installing them, you stand a great chance of creating an easier, more profitable operation. Here's why. After evaluating several companies that specialize in heat pumps and comparing them to HVAC contracting businesses of similar sales revenues, I conclude that it takes less overhead to operate a heat pump specialty contracting business. I found that less administrative and support staff are needed, which means less office space. And one industry expert I spoke with said he observed, because specialty contractors work on a more narrow offering than a typical HVAC contractor, that they need less shop space too. By being focused on modern variable capacity heat pumps, a sheet metal fabrication workshop, all the inventory of the various materials needed for gas piping, flues, and sheet metal work is just not needed. With a specialized offering in heat pumps, you can focus, which contributes to lots of organizational efficiencies. Now let's look at two sales. One is from a traditional HVAC contracting company, and one is from a heat pump specialist. The sale amount is roughly the same, and so is the purpose of the sale, to change out the HVAC system that heats and cools the home. What is different is the type of system that is being offered. The traditional contractor is offering to change out a furnace and AC, while the heat pump specialist is converting the whole home to a modern, variable capacity heat pump system. From the homeowner's perspective, what is being offered is pretty different. The traditional HVAC contractor is offering a like-for-like replacement of the HVAC system. By this I mean the homeowner has a furnace now, and they will have a furnace when they are done, and the same with the central AC. However, the heat pump contractor is offering the homeowner an entire chain. The new system will offer more comfort with lower operating cost and the ability to zone the home for additional savings and comfort. And the heat pump system does not produce greenhouse gas emissions. As I mentioned before, the sales price, or what the homeowner pays, is roughly the same. But let's look a little bit more closely. Please note the prices that you see are based on my market. You may have different costs for labor and materials in your market. However, what I think you'll see is the pricing method that is pretty familiar in that all costs are marked up to reach a sales price. Both scenarios use about the same installation labor. However, the heat pump specialty contractor employs electricians. Since everything they install runs on electricity, it makes more sense to employ electricians too. This produces a little bit more profit than simply subcontracting the electrician. The costs of equipment are less for the heat pump system by about $1,000. Materials and other costs are roughly the same. What you will notice is that the lower costs provide the heat pump contractor with more gross margin. There are simply more margin dollars for the heat pump job. That is because they are able to sell the job for roughly the same price as the furnace and AC changeout being offered by the HVAC contractor, even though there are lower costs involved. There's no magic here. The greater profitability of the heat pump job is the result of lower costs of installation, while being able to sell the system for the same sales price. But keep in mind that the lower costs are the result of the heat pump contractor being an expert in the technology and being incredibly labor efficient in the installation work. And here is perhaps the most exciting business opportunity. Remember earlier how I showed that a heat pump specialty contractor operates with lower operating costs? That means that the owner of the heat pump company can put more of the gross margin back into their pocket when compared to a traditional HVAC contractor. Not only are they making more total gross profit dollars, but they are also keeping a greater percent of those gross profit dollars as net profit in the company, because they simply need less margin dollars to operate with. It's a win-win. I'm not suggesting you should close down your business and immediately switch to become a heat pump specialty contractor. I'm just giving you some ideas for what I believe to be the near future for our industry. And as you look ahead, I hope you come away feeling like you can do this. As I mentioned before, a company needs to become an expert at the sales, application, installation, and support of these modern variable capacity heat pumps. And they also need to be very labor efficient and speedy at their installation. I hope in this video I have shown you that the many rewards that can come from this make a strong business case for a specialization in heat pumps. If you've liked what you've heard in this video, please be sure to let us know by hitting the like button and leaving a comment. And I hope you will check out my other videos about heat pumps. Thanks for watching.